Well, welcome back. As you can see, our pork is starting to cook really nicely, creating some of its own juices in here. So this is coming along really nice. So the next thing we're going to do is add some wine. Now, I'm really bad with measurements. Like my parents, we never measure anything. We cook by taste, by feel, by smell. This is probably about 1.5 cups, almost 2 cups. We're just going to finish off the bottle, which I'd say is about 2 cups, maybe 2.25. And that kind of slows everything down. The smell, though, right now is fabulous. You've got the smell of this wonderful, full-bodied Sangiovese wine, which is going to just add such a depth to this dish. And you've got that now actually deglazing the pan and penetrating this beautiful meat. And at the same time, I'm now going to add some tomato paste. And this is kind of where the elbow grease really comes in because you got to mix it up. And at first it's going to be a little clumpy and it'll be all over the place. But eventually this, and it can get a little messy, this tomato paste will break down. Now, sometimes I have to add some water. I think there's a lot of juice here. I don't think that that's going to be the case today. But we'll just see. We'll take it slow and we'll see what goes on here. While we were away, as the meat was braising, I did add a little more salt. It's a simple dish. Really not a lot of ingredients, not a lot of, parts to it. Just very simple. A lot of the cooking that my parents did was very simple. My family is from Abruzzi, which is the mountain region in Italy. We're about 2.5 hours northeast of Rome and on the side of the Adriatic. And my parents always cooked, they always said we're peasants. We're the mountain people. We cook very simply. And they did, simply and delicious. Our house was always filled. People, you pop in. You couldn't just come in to visit. You had to come in and have a full meal, because the second you walked in, my mother would be talking to you as she's got the pot going on the stove with water to boil. The, pasta's coming out. The sauce, if there wasn't in the refrigerator, she was taking a container out from the freezer. The next thing you know, you've got a 7-course meal in front of you. And that's just the way it is. And it's funny because my siblings and I were kind of almost the same way, all of us. It's the same thing. And I think that's also traveling to my nieces and my nephew as well. It's just the way that we were raised. And it's our form of hospitality is, I think, food. But as you can see now, this is actually blended really nicely. So this wine with the tomato paste is just going to make a fabulous sauce. And that's mingled with the juices from the pork. So this is going to cook now. It's going to cook for a while because you want this meat to break down. You want it to become really tender. And there's a lot of fat in pork butt. So that fat is going to break down, and that's just going to make the meat even more tender and make this even juicier. Then when we add this, and we're going to wait, we'll come back in a little bit, and we're going to add the peppers, that's going to create more juice and bring its own flavor to the dish. So there's a lot of layers in here. I do think I want to add just a little bit more wine before we go. So I think in total we're probably going to end up here with close to 3 cups of wine. Can never have too much wine. Of course, I should have a glass and pour a glass of this beautiful Ulysses Sangiovese. The wine is just fabulous. And I think I might do that while we're waiting for this dish to simmer up. So we'll see you shortly.